everyone, and welcome to the second episode of PixieCraft. So today we're going to start off with everything that I got from my little mining adventure, and then after that I think we are going to be hunting for some rabbits. In the beginning of the first episode, I showed you guys a cute ringtail cat named Pebbles, and ringtail cat is one that I really want to get. The reason being is a ringtail cat actually gives you haste when you go mining, so it's something that I'm really interested in, but it requires a rabbit's foot. And a couple things about rabbits and spawns in general in this game is they're a little off, so literally I spent hours in the desert without a single sign of a rabbit. Literally none. So yes, the hope is we get a rabbit, and we can hopefully, even further than that, get a rabbit's foot and tame a ringtail cat. But if you guys have any name suggestions, let me know. If all else, I'll come up with one, but let's get on with the video. As summer is still being developed and we want to make a town hall, post office, and general community areas, and it's early in the game, plus I'm a pretty decently wealthy mining fairy after that trip, so I decided to make some pickaxes and axes for the summer fairies to use when collecting the building blocks for our communal purposes. Okay, it literally took hours, and when I say hours, I mean hours of trying to get a freaking rabbit. Like, it took forever, and I don't know why. I think it's something with the spawn rates and the way that the mod pack works together. Took forever, couldn't find any. Luckily, someone on the server found them, and not only did she find them, bless her heart, but she also helped make this rabbit farm. So hopefully everything should be just fine. And the reason being that I am trying to get rabbit in the first place is I'm trying to get a rabbit's foot or multiple of them in order to tame something called a ringtail cat. So as some of you may know, I am a mining fairy, and being a mining fairy, one of the things that we need to do or be able to do is obviously go mining. Shocker. And with that, going mining with a ringtail cat gives you haste, and it just benefits you overall. And so I just thought it'd be easier if I got one, except for the fact that no, it's not easier. What the heck? Okay, can you stop climbing the ladder? Not that I knew that you could climb a ladder, but I guess you can. Okay, well, he's just there now, I guess. Trying to speed up the rates. I luckily got a bunch of bone meal from getting a bunch of bump blocks in the dead area, and so that makes my life a little bit easier. But I wish I could see. Okay. The bunnies. In other words, we're gonna be here a very long time. So I'm gonna AFK this for a while. It takes, as you can see, quite a bit for them to grow up. In fact, it takes them, what was that, 900 seconds or something to grow up? And not only that, but we have to get a bunch of rabbits. But look, we got ahead. Whoop-de-doo. That's the other thing is I kind of want to collect the heads just because I think it'd be funny, but I don't know how funny that would actually be. And I'm going to light this up, and I think I'm going to try to make it cuter than what it is. Oh, that's why I'm so stupid. Okay. That makes them bounce. Oops. you guys don't know, one of the things we need a ton of blocks for, specifically for our town hall, but honestly all of our community builds, is bees, or specifically honey, to be able to build a bunch of hives, honeycombs, and pretty much virtually a bunch of yellow blocks. I personally had the most difficult time trying to get bees, but I was able to get 2 hives, so I'm hoping there's some bees in it, or at least enough for me to breed. We got told that they want to hold off on actually starting any of these big community builds, mainly because we need to talk to fall and make sure that our borders don't cross too much, especially for the larger builds and farms and things that we don't really want to move once they are established. Since we need so many bees, I want to start breeding the bees now, so then by the time it actually comes, one, I'll have honey so people can start working on the blocks, since for my section, which is a bee farm in itself back near Town Hall, I don't actually need bee or beehives. I'm going to be using other yellow blocks, but in the meantime, when I know that I need all of these honey blocks, or other people will, I do want to have some ready to go. On top of that, I do want to start breeding the bees, so then when it comes time that I actually have to put bees in the bee farm, I have some ready. So to create the bee farm itself, it's really simple. In this case, I'm honestly just going to put it wherever I want, because I can almost guarantee that is not going to be here, unlike my semi-guarantee of these other builds right here. I know for a fact that this one is not going to be here as soon as we can move the bee farm over to summer. So for now, I'm just going to stick it right here, but like I said, it will move. This is also going to change. I'm going to have one episode dedicated to changing this whole layout, which you'll see what it is when that video comes out. But for now, I'm just going to create the bee farm right over here, and then we'll see. Everyone in the whole server just disconnected except for me and like 3 other people. I have no idea what just happened. If you're interested in making this bee farm, this is the way that I'm doing it, and here are all the blocks that you need. This is if you have 3 bees nests, but the numbers multiply depending on how many you want to actually make. All you have to do is keep extending what I'm making, but here's what you need if you only want 3. The flowers and whatever you use for this block doesn't really matter, same thing with the glass. No! No! Oh, gosh. Can you go back in, please? Well, that's a bee done with -4 bees. Okay, hold on. Can I have, wait for a sec. Bees run loose. Alrighty, so that is the bee farm finally done. It's a little messy, and obviously we had a little bit of an issue, but it's fine. Everything worked out just fine. It set off actually as I was getting the bees together. So I know for a fact that it works now, we just kind of have to wait. I do want to breed them. I'm not sure exactly how. I know with flowers, but the real question is, how do I do that without them escaping? Because clearly they're little escape artists, but we'll figure that out. Holy crap! Fudge nuggets! Oh, nothing. Don't worry about it. Everything's all good. After the bee fiasco, I decided to quote unquote AFK the farm a little bit by making this koi fish. It's the start of one of the permanent things I wanted to do to the island. I will make another one of these, but you guys will see that on the tour in a second. As I am in the midst of editing the second video, I realize just a teeny weeny important piece of all of this. You guys have not seen the creation of any building of any part of my island ever. So basically what happened was, I guess I either didn't hit record, don't have the footage, or something or another. And so you guys have no idea what my island looks like, and even at the intro, you guys have never even seen that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give a quick tour of my island and give the footage that I do have so you guys can see what's going on. Through this mistake, I am going to obviously double check and try for the rest of my island. Keep in mind, this is the island's work in progress phase. So virtually everything that is here right now is probably not going to stay. And on top of that, things are going to be changed and moved as talents get their respective talents and people stick to their actual roles later on. My island is pretty big and has farms that will be getting rid of as time goes on, but I want to show you guys what I have thus far anyway. There will be some spoilers through the video, but I want to show you guys anyway. Okay, for starters, my iron farm, which you guys saw what it looked like before. It was literally just like 2 stacks of logs. I've since then created a better fence around it and lit it up a little bit. I added some water so when they do spawn, it helps them go into the middle a little bit better. So this is what that entrance looks like. On this side of things is my sugarcane farm. The main reason for this is because I needed a lot of books. And with that being said, this cow farm over here is mainly for leather because I need so many books for enchanting and trading. Right here is watermelon farm. For the same reason, I used it to get emeralds and all of my wheat for my cow farm, which is very noisy, which is why it's back here. Then I have my 2 koi fish, which you guys might have actually seen or will see the creation of that one right over there. And then I moved my waystone from the first episode onto this cute little lily. I moved my waystone on this cute little lily pad with a lotus flower in the middle. Of course, the bee farm. And I have this lily pad over here that is meant for me to grow trees, just so then it makes it a little simpler and not as messy. And lastly, I have these 2 flowers in my bridge, which you guys will see in just a second. But that is an overview of my island and various farms. Like I said, things are going to change and go away, but this is what I have thus far. Once again, sorry for the lack of footage. I promise things are going to get less scuffed as things go on. Thank you everyone for joining me for the second episode of PixieCraft. If you have any interest of continuing this journey with me, the third episode will be out soon, where we're going to be trying to build all of our community buildings, specifically the bee farm. So if you guys are interested, stay tuned for more. Bye!